excited for this video. I think it's going to be really short, like 5 minutes or less. But if you didn't see or what was probably my last video, I just finished reading the Maze Runner trilogy. Literally tonight, I'm filming this video immediately after filming the outro for that video. But since I finished the trilogy, and I'm not starting the 2 prequel books for a while, like until I pick them out of the jar, I get to pick a new book out of my TBR jar. Which I kind of just realized it's so full that I can't even like shake it up. So I'm going to try to like mix it up a little bit so that I'm not just pulling out whatever the last book was that I put in. But I also wrote them all down in no order at all. So I have no idea what I'm going to get. But the plan is to pull out 5 to 10 books that I can choose from for like the next month. Maybe I'll just pull out like 5 books and I have to read one of those. And I don't know if that'll turn into like a reading vlog or if I'll just read it and review it or whatever, but I wanted to throw this in here. I think I will do this for a reading vlog or maybe even like a reading marathon at some time in the future. I'm going to have some time off from work coming up fairly soon, and so I'm hoping to do like a long reading vlog for that, like a 24-hour readathon or something. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. I'm so nervous because I'm a little bit of a mood reader, and if there's something that just strikes me and I really want to read it, like I just browse my shelves and I gotta read this book, I'm gonna do that. I might do that with like The Picture of Dorian Gray or something because I want to read that. So I might have a couple books going, but this is to help me if I get stuck. That's what the TBR jar is for. I'm just excited to see what I pull out. So let's go ahead and start. First one, I have no idea if you can read that or not. Fifth Wave. Oh, okay. First one is Fifth Wave, which I was not expecting, and I have to find out if there are more than just this and The Last Star. Okay, so there are at least 3 books in this series, which I just finished, a trilogy, and I'm not really looking forward to starting another trilogy, so I better get some standalone books in the next couple pulls. But I don't have the Infinite Sea. So, as you may know, I'm on a book buying ban until I can whittle my TBR down to like a more manageable number of books, my physical TBR, because I have over 100 books on my shelves that I have not read. And that's not okay with me. So I'm trying to whittle that down. I'm not allowed to buy more books. I have to read what's on my shelves. But my caveat to that is that if I pull a trilogy or a series or something from the TBR jar and I don't have all the books and I read the first book and love it and want to continue, I'm allowed to pick up the next books in the series. So if I end up reading this one sometime soon and I really, really like it and I want to read the next book, I'm allowed to do that. Anyway, there's just a little tiny blurb on the back. I will read that for anybody who doesn't know what the Fifth Wave is about or hasn't read it or watched it, meaning me. After the first wave, only darkness remains. After the second, only the lucky escape. And after the third, only the unlucky survive. After the fourth wave, only one rule applies. Trust no one. Now is the dawn of the fifth wave. I was trying to read the blurbs underneath that and I messed up. Entertainment Weekly says, just read it. USA Today says, a modern sci-fi masterpiece. Romance, horror, and dystopian fiction. Which is kind of what I just read in The Maze Runner. So this is a little bit low on my list, but I have to give it consideration. We're just gonna put that over here. Which when I wrote down all my books and put them into my TBR jar, I didn't put some series in. Like if I only have one book in a series, I didn't put it in there. So I don't think I put Harry Potter. I have all the Divergent books, or most of them now, so I probably did that one. But there were a couple series that I only had like one book of, and I didn't feel like buying the rest. So I didn't put those in there, I think. But apparently I did put the Fifth Wave, because I never did my research to see if I had all the books or not. Because I have 2. I apparently don't have the third. But anyway, okay. Now we do our next pick. That's 2. That's 1. Okay. And I'm just going to read it because I don't think you can read my handwriting anyway. But, ooh, okay, I'm kind of excited about this one. So I have 13 Reasons. Let me grab that. This has kind of been on my like imminent TBR, I guess you could call it. I've been wanting to read 13 Reasons. This is another one that I have to make sure is not a series, and I think it's just a standalone book. But I also have like this tickle in my mind that it's more than one book. So I'm going to see if I can find that out really quickly. So I'm going to look it up later because I'm using my phone to record. I'm going to look up later if this is the only book in the series. But if it is, this might be my next read. I know a tiny, tiny bit about this just because it got so popular for a while and then the TV series got popular, but I don't know a whole lot. So I'm going to read the back. You can't stop the future. You can't rewind the past. The only way to learn the secret is to press play. Clay Jensen doesn't want anything to do with the tapes Hannah Baker made. Hannah is dead. Her secrets should be buried with her. Then Hannah's voice tells Clay that his name is on her tapes, and that he is, in some way, responsible for her death. All through the night, Clay keeps listening. He follows Hannah's recorded words throughout his small town, and what he discovers changes his life forever. Oh, and you can listen to the Hannah Baker tapes, which is really cool. Yeah, okay. So I'm excited about this one. I think it's kind of polarizing. Like, it got so much hype, and a lot of people really loved it. And then I started hearing that, like, the hype wasn't worth it, and it wasn't actually that good. But I want to make up my mind for myself. So I'm very excited about 13 Reasons Why. This is probably going to be my next read. But let's see. Let's pull another paper from the jar. Okay. See if I can dig a little bit. There we go. So the next one is Netherland. Ooh. Okay. Interesting. I also know almost nothing about this book. I picked up so many books for no good reason. I don't even remember where I got this one. But let me read the back. It says one of the best books of the year. New York Magazine. Oh, by a lot of people. Okay. Let me read the back. Unexpectedly finding himself marooned among the strange occupants of New York's Chelsea Hotel, feeling lost in the country he has come to regard as home, Hans Vandenbroek begins an unlikely friendship with Chuck Remkessoon, a charming Trinidadian who introduces Hans to an other America populated by immigrants and strivers of every race and nationality. That's actually really cool. With echoes of The Great Gatsby. Ooh, okay, that's fun. So that's exciting also. I've been wanting to read this for a while. I definitely just picked it up because Netherland sounds so much like Neverland, and I'm a huge Peter Pan fan. But then I did read the back and thought it was interesting, and then I forgot about it. Winner of the Penn Faulkner Award. That's really cool. So this is also a possibility. This sounds like less of an adventure novel and more of like a history and learning about people's lives and differences and whatever. And that could be really fun. Actually, this would be a good change from what I just read. So I'm excited about this one too. Let's pull two more, and then maybe I'll call it for this video. I'm gonna grab this one. I can see some sort of writing on it, but I think that was from my tally. Okay, that means nothing. Shoot, I forgot that some of my books are way up there. Okay, next I have Romancing the Stone. Let me grab that. So next is Romancing the Stone, which I definitely picked up at a thrift store, kind of just because I'd heard of it before, and I thought, why not? 50 cents? Sure. So let's read the back. Ah, okay. Ecstasies of love and daring filled her best-selling novels, but suddenly it was all happening to her. She was falling in love with a handsome stranger in the middle of a jungle, one step from death. She, who had never braved any danger worse than a New York party, was now in Colombia with a secret that would save her sister's life, or get them both killed. She, for whom love had been only a fantasy, was now held breathless in the arms of desire, loved as the woman she had only dreamed of being. So I wonder if this kind of kicked off that theme in movies, because I know that is a theme. And I just watched, I think it's The Lost World, but it's with Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum. And it's the same idea, where like she writes the novels and then gets sucked into it. And there's another one with, I can never remember his name. My mom and I always have this struggle, but I'll put it somewhere in here. But there's another story like that with him. And I think it's a cool idea. I think it's fun. So this is now in my immediate TBR, I guess. This is an option. And this is maybe the last pick, although this is so much fun that I'm really tempted to pull like a couple more. But I think I'll try to just do one more. I swear I can't see what any of them say. I'm just trying not to like spill them all out of the jar. Oh gosh, this I will not be reading immediately, but I should. Les Mis. So let me grab Les Mis. Yeah, so this was the last one I pulled out. And it is the size of like 5 books combined. And I'm not super... I'm very intimidated by it. But I have a friend who also wants to read it, and we want to do a buddy read. So I will see if we can do a buddy read sometime. But I also think I'm just going to save this for next summer when she's not in school, because she's still in college and she's going to be way too busy to be reading this. So, you know, I'm going to put it back and I'm going to pick something else. Les Mis. No. I say no. I also just have fun picking, so we're going to pick one more. I'll put Les Mis back, but I probably won't be reading it until next summer, even if I pull it out of the jar. Okay, next. Immigrants. Okay, so it's not called Immigrants. I don't know why I made it plural, but this is the book. Okay, so I don't actually know anything about this one. I need to stop getting books without knowing anything about them. But I think this would be similar to Netherland. Yeah, let's go ahead and just read the dust jacket. Carrying a single suitcase. Oh gosh, I'm already screwed. I don't know how to pronounce names. Forgive me for the pronunciations, okay? I'm trying my best. Carrying a single suitcase, Kailash arrives in post-Reagan America from India to attend graduate school. His new friends in New York City teasingly call him Kalashnikov, then AK-47, then AK. He takes it all in his stride. He wants to fit in, and more than that, to shine. As he begins to settle into American existence, AK comes under the indelible influence of a charismatic professor, also an immigrant. His personal history, as dramatic as AK's, is decidedly not. Also at play in reshaping AK's life and his perception of himself are the very different natures of the women with whom he recklessly falls in and out of love. Looking back on the formative period of his youth, AK is studiously observant and meditative, and in the next moment, the boisterous embodiment of idealism, confusion, and chaotic desire. His wry, vivid perception of the world he is in, but never quite of, unfurls in a brilliant melding of anecdote and annotation, picture and text, that digs deep inside the varieties and vagaries of the immigrant experience, building a case for himself both as a good man in spite of his flaws, and as an American in defiance of his place of birth. AK weaves a story that is, at its core, an incandescent investigation of love, despite, beyond, and across dividing lines. Okay, so yeah, as far as I can tell, fairly similar to Netherland. So that's interesting. I think these are the only two books like this that I have, and it's kind of funny that I managed to pull them both out in the same, video. But yeah, so that's an option also. So just to wrap it up, I have these 5 books as options. I think I will be starting with 13 Reasons Why. I am interested in that one. So I think I'll start with that, and then we'll go from there and see how I'm feeling. I don't know that I'm going to be starting this one just because I really want to get some standalones under my belt. Coming from a trilogy that took me a really long time just because I was not into it, but I felt obligated to finish it, I don't really want to start another trilogy or another series right now. I'm going to knock out some standalones just so I can cut down my TBR, and then maybe we'll give the 5th wave a try. And this does not mean that I have to read all 5 of these books next. This is just to help me get started, because it's a little overwhelming to have so many books on my physical TBR, and it's a little overwhelming and hard to know where to start. So, this is giving me an idea, and I forgot that I wanted to read 13 Reasons Why, so that helps. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you're not subscribed, that would be awesome. And share it with your friends. Any other book lovers, book nerds, whatever. Share it with all your writerly friends, all your reading friends. Let me know down in the comments if you've read any of these books, and hype them up for me so that I feel like reading them. I do feel like reading them, but just keep me hyped. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!